Well, this should be exciting, even more so to those who don't like these types of vehicles. But yes, welcome back to another talking head video, but this time of the dev server, going into pure detail about some of the biggest changes coming that some may view as either a nerf or maybe even a rebalance. Now, in my own honest words, I'm going to call it a nerf, but for the sake of, well, realism, and I'm saying that with air quotes because let's be honest here, War Thunder isn't the most realistic game, but really what is? And I think Gaijin does a pretty okay job about it, in my opinion. But as always, seeing that this is the dev server, that means everything I'm going to be talking about in this video is entirely subject to change, all right? It might come in, it might not, it might be revamped entirely because again, nothing is really finished, and seeing that this is only day 2 of the dev server, I don't really expect things to be fixed, even more so on a weekend. Oh, and to add, I do want to get this out of the way. Ray tracing looks so nice now. I mean, I used to struggle a little bit, right? I'm playing it on UHD or 4K with maximum possible fidelity, and I'm still doing the same thing, and I'm maintaining over 100 frames, which was very difficult and still is in the current update in the live server. But I am very excited for when this update drops, just for that feature. However, what I'm not excited about is, well, I know you saw the thumbnail. It's this. Yeah, I already kind of set it up for you guys. A turret basket. Yeah, now if you take a look at any Abrams that has been, you know, disassembled or the turrets popped off to any degree, you can see pretty much the exact same thing, to which I am begrudgingly admitting that yes, it is realistic, although it's not something the Abrams has been needing for a little while, simply because they are barely, and I mean they are crawling their way back up to that 50% win rate. They were down to 32% months ago, around 6 or 7 months ago at the minimum, and now they're sitting at around 48%, which it was amazing, right? That may be subject to change after this comes in, because instead of having maybe a lucky shot on the side, maybe the dart goes through and nothing really happens and you can fight back, right? That is no longer going to be the case if you get shot in the side of the vehicle or the front, anywhere for that matter, because yeah, I get it, right? The basket's full of critical systems, right? It's full of, you know, hydraulics, electronic systems and everything to move the turret. However, as the way it currently is right now, it's a really big yikes in my opinion. And you do get a new vertical aiming drive. I'll be real with you, I don't remember if this is in the live or not. I'm pretty sure it isn't, but just in case it isn't in that case, yeah, which means you have more surface area for things to really go wrong for the Abrams. And to my German mains out there, or more importantly, to my Leopard mains out there, this is gonna affect you too. Take a look at that. It's more uniform, I'll give it that. That looks really pretty. I mean, I love the way it looks, but now if anywhere here on the side of the vehicle gets shot, let's just say Spall liner, right? Which does exist for these vehicles. Go ahead and actually turn that on. So put the armor, here's the Spall liner. What it would normally do in the past, basically, if you were to get shot in the side of the vehicle right here, your Spall liner would catch the Spall, the dart would continue going through and bypassing a lot of critical systems, crew members, etc. It's not always true, but if you shot on the side right here, you know, the Spalling wouldn't necessarily do too much, which gave you a fighting chance. Now, that is not going to be the case. In fact, from what I have been told is, let's go ahead and do this. Let's say DM33 on the side. Apparently, it adds more spalling to the vehicle. I don't know how true that is, to be honest. I can't really see it right here. Yeah, that is, wow, I think that really does. Okay, maybe that's what I meant about the whole like through and through, right? And the Spall liner kind of eats everything. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, it might add a little bit more spalling. Actually, if I can angle it from the top, which is unrealistic as hell, right? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It does give more items to destroy or otherwise disable, making your vehicle inoperable. Now, here's where the realism really comes in, right? And this is new, and I haven't seen this armor little muscle right here. That's cool. I get it, right? Realism, modules, you want things to break because realistically, in the real world, and I have to put an emphasis on it, if you were to get shot in an MBT like this from any angle and it is a penetrating hit, something is going to break. Remember, the insides of these vehicles are very sensitive, right? They have lots of electronics. They have the crew members, of course. They have, you know, glass for the optical systems and so on and so forth, which means that any sort of penetrating hit to any degree is going to be very catastrophic for these types of vehicles, even more so if you understand how like DU rounds play against MBTs nowadays. Remember, self-sharpening, and then it just basically ignites the air inside of the vehicle. It's pretty insane stuff. And no, I'm not trying to justify this nerf. In truth, it doesn't need it. I kind of like it the way it currently stands. If we take a look at the TKX, this is how it currently is right now, right? And it's balanced. It's well balanced for the most part, although I don't really agree with it. At least they don't get the vertical aiming drive like the Abrams does. But of course, when the Americans finally get something done, something right, they have to get the wrench thrown in. Now, I'm going to swap over to the Russians really quick because I want to point something out. Notice how the entire auto loading mechanism, or the carousel, is quote unquote detached from the turret ring. But if you take a look at the actual carousel, it's embedding itself into the auto loading mechanism, which means if this were to get penetrated and say you don't blow up, because realistically we all know it would just probably blow up, right? What happens is the turret can still turn and still function properly while the autoloader is completely destroyed. I would think that this system, this critical system, would be able to carry a lot of hydraulic instruments and other, you know, gadgets, I guess, that would otherwise keep the vehicle alive and combat effective, even though, you know, the autoloader is gone. The cannon can still fire because you still have a round in there. Go back, 15-second repair, so on and so forth, right? However, that is not the case for this type of vehicle for when it comes to what's happening to the Abrams. I don't agree with it in the slightest, guys. And if you're gonna be doing this to the Americans, you know, I get the Russians, you know, have their own little faults and everything for that matter, but you gotta give it to them too, okay? There's gotta be a lot of critical subsystems in here that keep the turret functioning outside of just this little tiny horizontal aiming drive. But thankfully, none can be said for any of the vehicles such as the Challenger 3, which is completely fine for the time being. And seeing that Charlie 2s have been destroyed IRL, I'm sure a lot of information is coming out to see that this also sits in some sort of turret basket. It would make a lot of sense. The Italians are fine, except for the 2A7HU. AMV is fine. France is thankfully fine. I'll give them that. Yeah, imagine that actually happened here. Oof. You know, the Leclercs can survive quite a few hits. If you hit them in the fuel tank, it's pretty catastrophic. But then again, the French do have a 73% win rate right now, which is pretty insane, even after the autoloader nerf to this vehicle, meaning that they gave it a module. And to my Swedish mains out there as well, oh yeah, I mean, it's not done yet, but you too are getting a basket. How fun. But anyways, guys, I just want to bring attention to this really quick. I want to know what you guys think about this whole change. Is this going to otherwise destroy top tier as we currently know it? I know that might be an exaggeration, but let's be honest here. I'm a YouTuber. I'm trying to get some clicks going on. Is this going to change up the high tier environment, or is it going to make things fairly balanced? Yeah, I apologize for the sort of short video today, guys. It's just something I want to get out to you because this is going to be quite the experience. I'll be looking into more of the content drop a little bit later. As soon as the next dev drops, I know there's a VT5 coming in. There's a couple of other hidden vehicles, as well as the release of the R8 Premium. The Certeza, which I'm kind of excited for, but at the same time, not really, because another top tier premium. Yeah, France kind of needs theirs too. But hey, you know what? We still got a couple of weeks left until the update drops. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And as always, if you want to see this gameplay live, or just normal gameplay that is, feel free to jump over to my live streams on Twitch. And I will see you guys not only in the next video or even the streams, but most certainly in the upper BRs of War Thunder, where you'll find me. I'll see you next time.